The elevated and premier membership packages through America's Business Benefit Association and Communicating for America include insurance benefits. They are a great complement to any combination sale that you're offering a customer. In this lesson, we're going to talk in more detail about the accident insurance benefits within those membership packages. As mentioned, the accident insurance benefit is included within the Elevated Association membership packages, but it's important to know that it cannot be sold on a standalone basis. Association packages through America's Business Benefit Association and Communicating for America include the following accident insurance benefits within one certificate. That would include the accident medical expense benefit, accidental death and dismemberment insurance, hospital indemnity benefit, and accident disability insurance rider. The accident insurance benefit will vary by level of association membership that is purchased. It is also important that you read the sample certificates of coverage for each insurance product to understand the qualifications for claims payment as well as limitations and exclusions of these benefits. The accident insurance benefit will vary by level of association membership that is purchased. It is also important that you read the sample certificates of coverage for each insurance product to understand the qualifications for claims payment as well as limitations and exclusions of these benefits. The accident insurance benefits are underwritten by Madison National Life Insurance Company Incorporated, which is an A- excellent rating by AM Best and a wholly owned subsidiary of IHC. Madison National was founded in 1961 and is headquartered in Madison, Wisconsin. An accident is defined as a sudden, unexpected, and unforeseen identifiable event causing bodily injury directly produced by specific accidental contact with another body or object. The accident must occur while the person is covered under the policy. So in simple terms, an accident is something that happens to you from outside of your body. In this lesson, we're going to be going through the accident schedule of benefits, non-duplication of benefits, terms and definitions, exclusions, claims provisions, and some general provisions. There are 4 separate benefits included within this certificate of coverage. The first is accidental death and dismemberment, including loss of sight, speech, and hearing benefit. The second is accident medical expense benefit, and we'll talk about that in more detail. There is also a hospital indemnity benefit that's included in this coverage. And the fourth is accident disability insurance. Starting with the accidental death and dismemberment coverage, it is accidental loss principal of sum in the schedule of benefits, so we'll talk about those amounts based on the membership package that someone chooses. It does provide dependent coverage on a family membership. For this particular benefit, we often get asked, how does someone assign a beneficiary to it? There is no assignment or assignment form that someone needs to fill out. It is automatic in the certificate. The definition of a beneficiary and how those funds would be paid would be the first of the following classes of surviving relatives: someone's spouse, then their children, then their parents, or siblings. If more than one surviving relative is in a class, benefits are divided equally among all surviving relatives of that class. If there are no surviving relatives as listed above, then the beneficiary will be the insured person's estate. We also want to point out to you that although your marketing brochures show the total principal sum as a benefit, in summary, the schedule of benefits for this particular portion does have some things that would pay out as 1/2 of the principal sum. So looking at the schedule of benefits and the certificates are very important for your knowledge as an advisor. Let's review the accident medical expense benefit, which is really a big talking point at point of sale with customers, whether they have children or not, but especially if they have children. In the accident medical expense benefit, it does provide a maximum benefit per injury, and that's located in the schedule of benefits based on the plan that's chosen. There is also a deductible per injury. An initial period of treatment is 12 weeks. The benefit amount listed in the certificate is 100%. However, this plan will not allow duplication of benefits. That cannot occur, which means after the deductible, we will pay for the benefit amount incurred cover charges up to the maximum benefit amount per injury. If a customer is not out of pocket for the expense, then reimbursement is not due. If out-of-pocket expense is less than the maximum benefit amount, the lesser is paid, less the deductible. So in simple terms, if someone purchases this elevated association membership plan with a health insurance plan, it can offset their out-of-pocket expenses like their deductible. It doesn't pay their deductible. It would pay the provider or pay them cash based on how they file their claim. But if their insurance plan ends up paying for the coverages, then there is nothing out of pocket and therefore this benefit would not pay. It only pays for up to the amount listed in out-of-pocket expenses for each injury for each person on the plan, less the deductible on this particular insurance plan itself. Now let's talk about the hospital indemnity benefit portion. It does pay while someone's hospital confined. Confinement means admitted to a hospital and confined for at least 24 consecutive hours. The benefit will pay $150 per day up to 30 days. There is no waiting period, and of course all terms, conditions, exclusions, limitations, and non-duplication of benefits will still apply. It's important to know with this portion of the plan, sometimes advisors will read the certificates as we suggest, and they think this is an added benefit to the other benefits within the certificate. It's important to know that there's one total amount that will pay based on your marketing brochure, the summary of benefits, for the total accident. So if someone's hospital confined, it will pay them $150 per day up to 30 days. If they're released early or the total maximum benefit has not been paid out and they're still out of pocket certain expenses, then they have that total amount that can make up for the difference in that cost. The fourth is accident disability insurance, and this is a rider attached to the certificate, automatic. It does include a payable benefit per injury that's included in the schedule of benefits based on the plan that someone chooses. It is also for the primary insured only. It's important to remember that, not for the spouse and not for any children on the plan. It has a maximum 12-month payout, and it does include a waiting period of 90 days, meaning the number of days the total disability has lasted before this benefit would be payable. The definition is total disability or totally disables is defined as an injury resulting from a covered accident and from which the insured is employed but cannot do any work for which he or she or may become qualified for any reason of education, experience, or training, or not employed but cannot perform the normal and customary activities of a healthy person of like age and sex. We highlighted this for you in an earlier slide, but just so you're clear, non-duplication of benefits is also defined in the certificate of coverage for this benefit. If an insured person is covered by any other group health insurance plan or individual health insurance plan and would as a result receive total medical expenses or service benefits in excess of the expenses actually incurred, then the accident medical expense benefit payable under this policy will be reduced by such excess amount. This non-duplication of benefits provision does not apply if the policy is considered primary under any coordination of benefit guidelines contained in any other healthcare plans. So again, in simple terms, what this means is someone purchases an ABBA elevated membership with an accident benefit. They have a small deductible, and then they have up to the amount that's listed in the benefit they chose to help them offset medical expenses. When they file a claim, that amount can go to them as a person in a cash amount, or it can be paid directly to the provider. They will select that when they file a claim. If they have some other insurance plan that is already taking care of the expenses of the accident, then this benefit would not apply. We've seen in a lot of cases that someone might have an insurance plan with a high deductible. Once that deductible is reached and the plan starts paying 100%, then this benefit would no longer be relevant. If that doesn't occur, then it absolutely would. It does pay per accident that occurs for each covered person on the plan. That would include primary, spouse, and all children. It's important to understand the covered charges defined in this accident coverage, which is defined as a reasonable and customary charge for a service or supply performed or given under the direction of a physician. For treatment of an injury, covered charges will include the following: hospital room and board, hospital miscellaneous, doctor's fees for the surgery, anesthesia, doctor visits, whether they be inpatient or outpatient, hospital emergency care, x-ray and lab services, ambulance services, prescription drugs, dental treatment for injury to naturally sound teeth, and registered nurse expenses. It's important to understand the few exclusions that are within this coverage as well. The accident certificate does not provide benefits for treatment services or supplies that are defined as not medically necessary, that are not prescribed by a physician as necessary to treat an injury, that are determined to be experimental or investigational in nature, received without charge or legal obligation to pay, received from persons employed or retained by the policyholder or any family member unless otherwise specified, and not specifically listed as covered charges in the certificate. It's also not going to pay for any hernia of any type, regardless of cause. Part 2 of exclusions that are not provided, unless otherwise specified within the certificate, would be things that occur due to injury by acts of war, whether declared or not. Injury which occurs while a person is on active duty. Injury received while traveling or flying by air, except as a fare-paying passenger on a regularly scheduled commercial airline. An injury sustained by flying an ultralight, hang gliding, parachuting, or bungee cord jumping. Injury sustained by participating in a rodeo. Injury sustained while participating in or practicing for any professional sports activity, unless specifically provided for. And let's talk about that for just a moment. Professional sports means someone that is playing a sport and getting paid to do so. This would not apply to a kid playing Little League baseball in school when they're not paid for it, when it's a hobby. Injury sustained while committing or attempting to commit a crime. Attempted suicide or intentionally hurting yourself. Voluntary use of illegal drugs. Being legally intoxicated. And then covered charges incurred outside of the United States, unless those covered charges are incurred while they're on a trip of not more than 90 days. It's also not going to cover a work-related injury covered by workman's compensation. And it's not going to cover a medical mishap or negligence, including malpractice. There are some claim provisions that you need to be aware of as an advisor and make sure that your customer understands them. A written notice of a claim must be given to M&L within 60 days after the covered loss starts. It is the responsibility of the insured member to fill out a claim form and submit it. Having another insurance plan with an ID card will not satisfy the filing of a claim on the association membership benefits. Members can obtain and download claim forms that are necessary through their association membership websites, or you as an advisor can download claim forms for these benefits on your advisor resource library within your advisor website. Medical records are required in order for a proper review of the claim. Do not delay completing and submitting a claim form. The claim form must be filed within 60 days. Oftentimes we've had customers wait until they get all the information from their doctor after an injury, and we advise them, don't do that. Go ahead and fill out a claim form, get it into the company, and then all of the rest of the paperwork can be submitted when it's ready from the provider. It is also important to know that upon receipt of proper proof of loss, benefits are paid within 30 days. Proof of loss is required to be received within 60 days of the incident for a claim to be paid. And as mentioned on a previous slide, this benefit pays the appropriate benefit amount to either the assigned provider or the insured directly based on how they file their claim form. So there are spots at the bottom of the claim form. If an insured member puts their doctor's information or the hospital that they visited on that claim form, then that's where the money goes. If they leave that portion blank, when the claim needs to be paid, it will go directly to the insured or the member. There are a few termination provisions on when this coverage would terminate. Although you can sell a new membership package to someone up to the age of 64 and a half that's consistent with all of our health insurance programs, this coverage can be kept as long as premiums are paid for someone up to the age of 70. If someone requests for the membership to be terminated, it will be. And it will also terminate automatically on the date that the insured person or a dependent ceases to be eligible. We do have some recommendations for you. and that is sell the value of the association membership on its own. So many people buy our plans because of the bad things that happen or because they need them. The association membership packages are going to provide lots of benefits and services for everyday needs. So get someone excited about it and show them how to fulfill it, how to get online, and how to use their services. It will retain that customer for you long term. We recommend that you think about choosing a different association package where insurance benefits do not necessarily match up with the in-hospital deductible on the health insurance plan if you sell a health insurance plan with it. You don't have to go that route, but sometimes it can cause confusion when someone's talking about out-of-pocket expenses being covered, like a deductible. We've had insureds in the past think that, oh, it's just going to pay their deductible, and it doesn't work that way. The insurance plans that you sell and the association membership packages are separate and distinct from one another and pay according to the way their certificates are laid out and defined. When explaining the concept, ensure you use the term qualifying in your presentation language. It's important to know that not every accident that occurs or something that someone thinks is an accident will automatically pay a benefit or be covered. So using the term qualifying will help protect you as an advisor as you're presenting these plans. Always tell customers that once they're approved, they should thoroughly review their certificate of coverage provided by the carriers. They will not get these in the mail. They'll get a welcome letter and a small discount prescription ID card in the mail, but that letter will refer them to the website to look at detail and certificates of coverage for the benefits within their membership plan. It's also important to make sure that customers understand that the association is separate and the fulfillment will come separate from their insurance. Typically, when you sell an insurance plan through IHC along with a association membership, the insurance plan is fulfilled first and that is sent out to the customer. And about 10 days later, the association fulfillment information will go out to the customer. It's set up that way so we can provide you with the convenience of common billing. If you sell a partner carrier's insurance plan and sell the ABBA membership as a separate standalone plan by itself, then it would be fulfilled immediately. Last but not least, follow up to ensure your customers understand where to find their specific policy documents and how to access their benefits online. We do have proven statistics that the advisors that are working with their customers after the sale is made to ensure they understand how to use their benefits and services, they retain them much longer. The information contained in this training is an outline of features and benefits of the association memberships. The memberships offered may be subject to change. This training is not intended to serve as a legal interpretation of benefits, which are provided under the fulfillment material located on the association's website, member login, and the master policy for insurance benefits underwritten by Madison National Life Insurance Company. Some provisions, benefits, exclusions, or limitations may vary depending on the client's state of residence, and benefits may not be available in all states. You learn about these companies in more detail in your Introduction of Companies training. Please proceed to the next slide and click to take the quiz.